Hey everyone, it's Nate, and I am joined here by Ian and Max. We're playing Shadow of Mordor. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Guess which one of
Uh,
us is which? You'll never
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, exactly. I
I
thought
I'm the
showed
one
up
with
for
all the
the end of
opinions.
I showed
I,
up for the end of the stream. I'm
I was gonna
sorry, we
say
have to end it here.
Max, I legitimately had a feeling of like, am I late? Why is Max here? Did I miss the stream slot? Like, I don't, I don't understand. How are you
He's
here this
just
early?
fucking with you.
I
Yeah.
did this at work, and somebody was like, "Why the hell are you in that meeting so early?" And I was like, "Look, if I don't get in there, I'm just gonna miss it." And so I was like
Preempt.
sitting in like a Teams meeting like 30 minutes early, and I'm like, "Hey, somebody will say something eventually, and I'll realize that hey, I'm in the meeting."
It's proactive ADD management.
Yeah.
Jeez, brutal.
That was really violent. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, your
so,
sword's all the way upgraded.
Yeah, I did do a few things. I cleared pretty much everything else out, all the extras and gettables and whatnot. So it's really just this, but I saw that I didn't do this one quest over here, so I guess as a warm-up, because I have not played since, like, the day after we streamed last. I'll go
Okay.
do this as a warm-up, and then we'll get going. I think we're coming towards the end, right?
Yeah, you're really not that far off story-wise. You
Yeah,
don't have a
'cause
ton more to do.
I've got all of the war chiefs like branded now, so that'll be interesting. Guess
Yeah.
I'm opting not to cut through the armies. I am trying to sway them.
Yeah, you're doing a
Yeah.
passive run, which is, I don't know why you keep playing these hyper-violent games and deciding to do passive runs. You do the same thing with Sifu.
Well, I explored both options there.
You gonna do that with Neo and Bloodborne?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do
Pacifist
seppuku
run?
the entire time. I'm just gonna. If I fail, I kill myself and start a new profile because the samurai way cannot afford loss.
Just
Once I'm
commit.
defeated once.
You commit
Bloodborne
honorable
passive.
Sudoku.
Yeah. Bloodborne passive run.
The
Damn,
pacifist
that's a-
run. You have to be
That's a
friendly.
lot
with
of
all.
kills.
Yeah.
Ooh, new mission.
Boom.
Boom.
So,
Pop.
I gotta tell you a story about my dog.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned that you had
So-
something. No
So
survivors.
Linda is food motivated, to
Yeah.
put it mildly. More than any dog I've ever owned, and the cicadas to her are just like a dinner bell.
Oh God, really?
Same for my dogs.
But Linda is tiny, and a cicada is, I mean, relative to her, pretty
Big.
It's a full
Big and-
mouthful at least.
So like, she'll like eat them. She doesn't even chew, and then she comes in and vomits.
Oh
And
God.
I'm
Right.
like, oh, come
So
on,
you've
girl.
got a whole swarm on your floor now.
Yeah, so she comes in, she eats her kibble, then she drinks as much water as she can, then she just blows. And she did it twice on my bed.
Jeez.
Huh.
So that was fantastic. I had to
Hey, internet.
clean that up.
This is a campaign for the internet to get a dog if you don't have one. Because
Yeah.
they're awesome.
They're great. Cicadas are the real problem,
Yeah, that's true.
you know? It wasn't until the cicadas that she started yakking cicadas.
Dude, so these cicadas,
But,
we gotta do something about these fucking cicadas. Gotta
We
stop.
do. They're a menace.
Yeah.
We should send them back to wherever they came from.
I mean,
I don't,
there's
I
not
don't
much
think any of them
to
have
do,
green
right?
cards.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we haven't tried much, so you never know. We don't have in the words of Indiana Jones, the CIA dude in Indiana Jones, we do not have top men on
Working
this.
on this, yeah.
Yeah, we need top men on this.
But so the last part of the story is I was keeping her out in the living room because like I knew she might explode after I like brought her in one time, and she took a crap out there, and I had to
Hey.
clean that up. And when I picked up one of the turds, I was like, oh my god, that is just a full cicada that
Great.
made it through her entire digestive system, wings intact and everything.
I didn't think cicadas could get more disgusting.
Yeah, me neither. Until I picked it up and was like, she had been getting sick, so I looked at it because I was like, well, shit. If this is like, well, I didn't mean to make that, but you know what I'm talking about.
Unintended.
Yeah, unintended. But like, I was like, I better look because like, you know, she's been sick, so I want to make sure, you know, this isn't like black stool that's like I'm losing my organs or something.
Jesus.
Yeah, so you know. I looked at it and I was like, that is a fully intact cicada that made it all the way through.
So the cicadas.
Yeah.
For me, it's the racket. It's just shut up, stop already.
Over it.
Linda has become the Sarlacc pit.
You know what it is? It's funny today. I noticed something about them today and the sound that they make that I didn't realize. So first of all, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but what they sound like, I've discovered what they really sound like. They sound like electronic noise, like it's electronic interference or distortion, like a wall charger sounds if it's drawing too many watts or some shit.
It's this screams of the damned.
Yeah, that too. But it does that. But then they do this weird thing where they have two different tones. I had one on the outside of my office window today, and I was like watching it because I'm hearing this effect happen, and I'm like, am I losing my mind? Because what's actually happening is they're screaming forever, and then they scream louder, and the frequency gets higher. They change the tone. It goes, oh, 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 like back and forth.
Oh, they're doing like a soccer chant.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
Oompa Loompa noise.
And when I first heard it, because it was so regular and so perfect pitch each time, I actually thought it was like in my room or something. It was like some sort of electronic interference or something. No, now I've determined I've watched them do it because they actually move their body to make it happen. You can watch them move their bodies when they change the tone. It is fucking weird. And it is gross, and it is obnoxious. It's like
the Crab
just,
Rave song.
wow.
Somebody has to have done that with cicadas, right?
I'm sure.
Just swap out the models.
It's just the fucking noise, man. Get the noise out of here. Stop already.
Linda loves it.
Jesus.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
She's
I mean,
like,
look.
wow, dinner bell.
They can be around. They can get eaten. They can fly up into my face and get in my hair, like whatever the fuck. Just
shut
up.
Just do it quietly.
Out of my dog.
Yeah, just shut up. Be quiet. Don't be doing this at 7 a.m., man. Damn.
So is it like that whole region of the U.S.? I know they're a thing in Ohio. Are they still a thing in like Massachusetts?
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, I actually think we got it like a week late, so ours is going to go a week longer. I think.
I wonder what caused that.
They're supposed to be wrapping up now.
It's
like right about now.
It's based on heat and humidity, as far as I know.
Which makes sense then, because we were about a week, 2 weeks behind you in terms of like getting close to summer. So,
Man, if you're gonna scream like that, you just want to make sure it's the right humidity.
Man,
And if it's not, you're gonna like, stay in bed for another week.
Yeah, so like I can't I just go outside with my noise canceling headphones on now. Like
I've been doing that, but that's mostly because like those fuckers just do not give a damn. They will like crash into the side of your head while screaming.
Yeah, they're really dumb.
100%.
I've like when I'm like, I have to think about it and not yawn while I'm outside, because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to like have my mouth open and just have one be like, you know, I'm gonna hit the port on the Death Star, you know.
My health actually.
I haven't had that problem yet.
It's not okay. Well,
I've never had that problem, but I'm gonna make sure I never have that problem.
Yeah. It's probably a good policy.
Yeah.
Nate, we stealthing this whole fort?
no, I mean it's already too late. The alarm has been tripped. That's why there's a whole like gang of them hanging out. I'm just trying to man, these fuckers.
Shift the balance of power.
Yeah. And at least give them a distraction.
As per usual, you do this very differently for me. I want I want to start the giant melee. Like, bring that shit on.
Yeah, I'm
Give me
mostly
the biggest
objective
pipe
focused, and
possible.
I'm like, I can't do that with all you assholes just hanging out here.
Now's our best chance.
Because I'll do it, and then they'll just keep like knocking me around while I'm trying to untie the dude.
Yeah, with the entire Manchester United fan club there.
Yeah.
They that does tend to blow
Hooligans.
things up.
I do like the idea of orcs being hooligans, soccer hooligans.
I mean, they like. There's so many pieces of lore that they are. I don't really understand how that happened, but like in 40K, they're all soccer hooligans.
Well, they're all
Like
English and
that's-
Australian. So.
Yeah, it's English and Australian for 40K and fantasy, but like, it's not just those ones that like do it.
The orcs are like East London and like Melbourne, Australia. they're like Essex and they're Melbourne.
Oh no, there's a worse place. It's mentioned in the first edition 40K rulebook. It's the only like town on Earth that's ever mentioned. And they talk about the bleak darkness of like literally a place that was like walking distance from their old office. I need to find it now.
Meanwhile, all the dwarves are Scottish.
Always.
Well, yeah.
Maybe Irish.
Yeah, well, you know. That they can have a pot of gold things too.
Yeah.
You know, it's a double duty. Huh. I scrolled in on like I was trying to find that town in England. There's just a town called Battlefield.
That is an interesting name.
Yeah, presumably there was a battle. Let's see here.
Alright, let's take care of these guys, give myself some breathing room.
Double kill.
Triple kill. Oop, okay, camera.
Oh, all right.
Alright, clearly a flawless execution. Alright. So that was done. Oh, I think this one over here as well. Yeah. Alright. I'll do this one real quick, and then we'll get on with the actual storyline.
The musket, I forgot. It mentions this in the rulebook. A primitive weapon still used on some feral and backwater planets, of which Birmingham is the most well known.
Birmingham?
Birmingham, aka the Black Planet, receives almost no visible light, and as a result, no one wants to go there. Its inhabitants have become linguistically and culturally isolated.
Oh man.
That's the description for a musket, by the way.
So mean.
It just includes all that additional shit.
Okay.
Also, I just love that 40K at one point had like fucking muskets as like a weapon you could take.
Yeah, what, did you guys see the new gunslinger class for D&D just came out?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a gunslinger class that came out. It's like I'm not, at least it's out on D&D Beyond as an official class type. I don't think it wasn't made by Wizards, like it wasn't made it by by actual D&D team, but it's like approved third party.
Huh. Let me go take a look.
I listened to some reviews, and it's like the base class is like super fucking strong, and like its subclasses have a wide variety, but
It serves an audience.
yeah,
I
it
suppose.
really cuts a wide breadth.
Everybody wants to bring a gun to a sword fight.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, well, you're gonna die to the person with the gun, and then
Yeah, we'll do it honorably though.
yeah,
Not if
honorably.
I'm Link and I have.
Oh my
I've
god,
got a
you just
magic
reminded me of there's this one skit I watched where it was these two guys showed up to a duel. The guy has a sword and a pistol, like the person who's like arbitrating, and he's like, "Pick your weapon." And one guy picks the sword, and he's like, "Well, I don't have two of each of these," so he gives the other guy the
because
gun.
yeah, that's I think that's a sketch bit from a bit of Fry and Laurie, where it's Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie, which is who plays House.
I just saw it the other day and was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that clip not too long ago, actually, too. So, yeah.
I love the idea of, let's do this honorably.
Yeah.
And I only have one gun and one sword. But don't tell them that before they pick.
Right? And he's like, well, what if we don't load the pistol? He's like, well, it doesn't really cut, does it?
What am I gonna do? Let blood shoot it. He, like, starts smacking with the handle. I'm like, actually, that... you know... I mean, we're talking like a pepper pot pistol here, like, you know, that's quite a bit of weight in that handle.
All right, let's keep moving.
Hey, Nate, are you excited about your new Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, man. What a random thing to happen on a Tuesday night. Ian hits me up. Yeah, Ian hits me up. Says, "Hey, Nintendo contacted me. Says I got one for you. Do you want it? I already got one."
Huh.
Yeah.
So that was pretty rare.
You mean Cameron's dad contacted you, right?
Yeah, totally.
The one that works at Nintendo.
Yeah, the one.
Yeah, I have my uncle who works at Nintendo reached out to me.
Yeah, who's friends with Cameron's dad at Nintendo. Yeah. And my dad at Nintendo and Nate's dad at Nintendo.
It's actually the father of my Canadian girlfriend that you guys have never met.
Yeah. Who's totally real.
Yeah,
totally real.
It's crazy how the images have, you know, gotten better over the years, but she hasn't aged.
I mean, look, it's
It almost corresponds to the advent of machine learning.
What's the use of having an imaginary significant other if they don't just stay beautiful and perfect forever?
If they don't just remain Cher.
What are you gonna play first, Nate?
I'll probably finish Tears of the Kingdom.
Now we're talking.
Because that has been long overdue. It's on my backlog. It's been on my backlog, and it's kind of taken precedent in my head because it is at least started.
Yeah.
As opposed to starting a brand new game. Probably the same deal with Baldur's Gate.
Well, I'll tell you what. The new Switch version also comes with a phone app that will help you 100% the game if you want to. Like, it will
that's nice.
point out the shit that you haven't done. Yeah.
I got the Gunslinger just because I wanted to read it. Unfortunately, it tells me that I own this product and then does not take me to the page that it's on, though. So it will remain in suspense.
Help me.
Yeah, it's the base class is pretty strong, and then the subclasses, some of them they sound super powerful. I don't know how the math works out. But like there's pretty much every archetype you could possibly want in there, and you can tell, oh, this one's the paladin subclass. Oh, this one's the rogue subclass. Oh, this one, you know. So it's stuff like that.
This one's the gun subclass.
Yeah.
Protect me, gun.
Classic.
Mm-hmm. I was actually watching old DBZ fights the other day. Well, DB
really?
fights. I watched
yeah.
Jackie Chan versus Goku. God, that one is so funny. Dude,
Jeez.
Master Roshi has more like unique abilities in that one fight than most characters throughout the entire series.
Yeah, Jackie Chan has like 100 different types of attacks.
Yeah, he goes from like drunken boxing to hypnotism to using the Kaioken to like push himself back into the arena to blowing up the moon. Which I love that we established that early on that somebody.
Oh, the moon has been canonically blown up at least twice in that fucking show.
And then put back. I love that they put it back too.
Who the fuck? Oh, okay.
That's hilarious to me.
I don't care. Whatever it was, consider.
Nope. There we go. All right, half of that's done now. Finally, Jesus. All All right, I just need 10. I need to kill 10 more of these motherfuckers. All right, fine. I'm trying my best to get all the optional stuff done. Although, really, at the end of the day, it's like 50 quid essentially.
So much quid.
What are you gonna spend it on?
There are more of us up ahead.
I don't know.
You got anything left to upgrade?
I don't think so. Hang on.
I mean,
That's all done.
You can always give it to
That's all done.
Ratbag or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will put it to good use.
Yeah, I'm almost done. Aside from the challenges and like the rescue missions, I've got one more main mission to do. Unless they are like ones to add to the count. But I think
Good.
that's it. Now. Right. Shit, okay.
What is that guy saying?
Oh, he's making fun of the concerns that the prisoners and slaves are voicing.
Oh,
Damn
it's
it.
too dark. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Did not make this conducive for like stealth kills at
That's
all.
when you walk up behind him and start agreeing with him.
You really hit the slaver with the shovel? I like you, slaver.
11.
Be a nice bit in a movie. Oh my god. One of the gunslinger things is just like a minigun.
Yeah, they've added a few new firearms in there too. Yeah, and it ranges from like blunderbuss and cannon to like Gatling gun to like modern stuff.
The cool part would be being like a large creature, like an ogre, and bringing like just a cannon.
Yeah, there's also a new spell called finger guns, and it works exactly how you think it would.
That's hilarious.
There's another one called I think summon cannonball or conjure cannonball, and it's just like area focused fireball.
Hold on, my dog needs out. She wants to go eat cicadas.
A worthy cause.
Yeah.
Look at him cringing. Why do you don't have to kill him? He wasn't gonna hurt you.
He was totally gonna hurt me.
Why? Just because he's an orc?
Yes.
What are you?
They're all bloodthirsty monsters. All of them. Every single one of them.
Terrible thing to say. Generalizations and stereotypes.
Alright. I feel like I've killed everybody in this area, and now there's no one left to, like, stealth kill. I need 7 more. Jeez.
You don't need it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Fuck it, who cares?
Ha!
I literally have no upgrades left to get, so why? Who cares?
The fans care, Nate.
Yeah, you know, all
You're
of
letting
our
us
fans,
down.
all of our fan will care.
You're letting them down. The internet is disappointed in you.
You really came into those uruks. Oh, if I could fight like you.
All right. There's one more mission out there, but I don't know where it is, and I haven't found like the prompting slave group to
I
like
wouldn't have ended up here.
do something about it. Oh well.
It'll pop up.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll pop
We'll
up.
do something.
All right. I will.
Thanks a plenty, stranger.
I'll just make my way to the mission, like the main mission, on foot. That way, if I catch it in the midst of my travels, then I can just do it then. But if not, then I'll just go on with my my life.
He's making his way downtown.
Yep, walking fast.
Walking fast.
Uruks past.
Uruks fast. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I like that whenever you like do slight parkour, you get super speed.
Yeah, for no reason.
For no reason, you just that you feel cool for doing a flip.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean it's because most of your mass is
Oh, there it is.
in the ethereal plane.
Yeah, it really is an ethereal plane.
it makes you that much more parkour.
Alright, well, since I'm already here.
Don't you have to be? Shouldn't you be yelling the word parkour every time you do a parkour, though?
Yeah.
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 Parkour.
Parkour.
So much for us. We want to help. If you rescue our leaders, I know.
Can you actually shoot those guys?
Yeah, you technically can't
Not
hurt
that,
them.
not that I think you should. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
If they make them,
Alright.
if the game makes them immortal or something.
He wants to make that clear to the internet. I don't believe you should.
Yeah,
Just for the record.
it's wrong.
Yeah. Well,
But
I'll
can
get those
you?
for later. For war crimes or something. I don't know.
And plunk.
Last time I killed, a siege soldier. People weren't happy about it.
Boop. And
And yeah, like I
Everybody's dead.
gunned them down in cold blood. But
as you tend to do.
yeah.
Alright. Last rescue
I
mission.
mean, I
and then
wasn't
we'll go.
gonna tell him beforehand.
Inspire an uprising. I don't know how to do that. What? Inspire an uprising?
So confused.
How does one
What the
inspire
fuck?
an uprising?
You tell
You're not a
them to
very
seize the
inspiring
mean-
person.
You tell them to seize the means of production.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be down for that.
Pick
Get
one
some
of them.
Marxism up in this piece.
Yeah, pick one of them and tell them that they're the leader of the party. And then let them choose all the candidates for the party. And then remember that you've lost control of your party.
Hey, all the animals are created equal,
It's
but
true.
some of the animals are more equal than others.
Hawks
Oh,
are back
yeah.
to work. Boxer, hero of the Soviet Union.
God, just pulling people down onto your sword is just fucking metal.
As you were released
Pretty
those
rad.
humans, they should just
Pretty
be pulling out
rad.
hammer and sickles.
God, I think the camera's gotta find...
Oh, they're letting other ones out, aren't they?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a cool job at a studio just to be like the guy in charge of coming up with the cool death animations?
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Animation
coming up with them,
artist.
yeah. Not doing the rigging yourself, because I imagine this is super tedious work that leaves you with like carpal tunnel.
Watch that blade!
Because that whole job is basically just describing how you kill people in D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
How do you want to do
it's-
this?
It's
The
your
job.
boss telling you how to kill people, and then you needing to actualize what they
Look,
said.
they're just gang
Yeah, I
stuff.
don't want to do that part. I want to be the boss.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be the guy who tells him like, yeah, but when I said stomp on his head, like, I meant
Yeah, I
more
wanted to
like
be a little more-
stomping, like, and
I want
he's
to be a
really
little
feel
more
the weight of those
authoritative
boots.
about it.
yeah,
I want him to mean it more.
yeah.
Did you guys see the shakeup at D&D and Daggerheart? Ian, I don't think you would, but
What is it?
Wizard of the Coast one fired Todd Kenrick, who's the guy who does all the interviews.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm not sure
Well,
if they fired him or
Wizard,
he
so
was
I guess
he
there's,
just
like-
he just had a post that said I was let go. I don't think he cited why. I think they were just doing cuts, and I guess they felt like they didn't need him anymore.
That is something that they do.
But then
I
also
wonder
Chris
what his job
Perkins
was before
and
he did the interviews.
Jeremy, what's his name? Last name? Both those
Jeremy
guys.
Crawford?
Yeah, Jeremy Crawford. They both retired like in the last couple months, I think. But they popped up on Daggerheart's team, or at least Critical Role, and the Darrington Press Brigade. So like, oh, they popped up at your rival workplace. Interesting.
Wow.
I don't think it's anything like bad, like anything.
Yeah. Well, Hasbro is the kind of company that would like try to get them to sign a non-compete that's not enforceable.
Yeah.
But that's the good part. Is it wouldn't be enforceable. Or
Yeah.
I'm just assuming that Hasbro
Well,
would work it in such a way that
I don't know
would
what
be
if they
unenforceable.
if they quit Hasbro though. I don't know what their leverage would be. It's not like
Yeah.
why would they sign a non-compete in that arrangement unless there's some sort of like
Oh, I meant
balloon
like
payment.
back when they started at Hasbro.
I see.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the
Long
money-grabbing
time
machine
ago?
as it was before.
Yeah.
Yeah, as it is today.
Especially because when they would have joined, would have been like when they're trying to recover from 4E and
They said
Pathfinder
18
is
years,
on
I
the
think.
rise.
One of them said 18 years.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That'd be shortly after we were.
Coming to our aid, Captain.
Nah, it'd be during high school, wouldn't it?
Never realized my
That's
smuggling
sad.
would be so
Yeah.
18 years ago.
by the Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Lady.
Half my life.
Orcs.
If only I could put half of it in the ethereal plane, like this guy does. Actually, way more than half of it, since that's Celebrimbor.
So here's a fun fact for you guys.
Yeah.
Fun space fact.
Uh-huh.
So Voyager 1, the original Voyager,
Oh, those
Space
things are
Probe.
so cool.
It's good to see you again.
48 years ago it launched, right?
Yep.
The boats are ready.
It is,
The skippers have been.
well,
I could
okay,
drink
let's
before
let's
I
do this
could.
backwards. So the
It was already
closest
driving
star,
at 0.
the closest star to our
Is that like?
solar system is Alpha Centauri, which is something like, I believe,
Like
4.2, yeah,
Somewhere in
4.2
there.
light years, 4.2 light years away from us.
Put an end to this.
Voyager has been traveling for 48 years and is not even one light day away
Ha!
from Earth.
Yeah.
They also
It's,
noticed it was
That's,
slowing
that's
down.
how that's just how fucking big the universe is, guys.
Warp
It's
drives
fucking
or
big.
nothing. Warp drives or die.
It's fucking huge.
Nah,
it's a
dude.
big old
we,
universe.
we fold space
Yeah.
over 1,000 times.
To forge
We
it
tur-
into. Yeah.
Yeah, the Samurai Jack's blade.
Damascus steel, the greatest steel there ever was.
It's like. I don't know if it ever. Maybe not. I think
It's
they
not even a kind of steel.
Leaf
Yeah.
steel.
got
I
carbon
just
nanotubes
take
in
all.
it.
Yeah, I just take all these shitty leaves on the ground, throw them
It's
in.
like
at the
really
right
all it
time.
was is that they found a way to make more modernish day steel with crap resources.
Yeah, exactly. That's the funny thing about all the old metals is you're like, so basically they just figured out how to take like stuff that we wouldn't even call pig iron and like turn it into
Yeah.
something usable,
Yeah, the
or
samurai
at
sword,
least
tomahawk
better
and
than
stuff. Yeah.
everybody else's pig iron.
Yeah. It's like, don't get me wrong, the refinement into actual usable modern day steel from nothing
Yeah.
is amazing.
It explains why you
mahogany.
needed like so much training to do it.
Defeat your nemesis.
Man, we are like right here at the end. Holy shit.
Yeah, we got right into it, didn't we?
I always
Yeah.
wondered what like the time expectancy that a person could like be in that profession without like basically damaging themselves so much that they can't do it anymore was. Like I don't know that we would have like records.
I don't know.
because-
You do have to carry like a special card saying like that you're a blacksmith because you pick up so
Oh.
much like iron in your like skin and blood
Oh, you're
that
gonna
like
set
you
off.
set off metal
Jesus
detectors and
Christ.
shit.
Okay, so like not even heavy metal poisoning, just like
Yeah.
metal poisoning.
Oh, I think I hit one of my own guys on accident.
Does that also mean like for an MRI machine, like you just can't like easily?
You might
get
not
it?
be able to do that. I don't
Because,
know.
so, I mean, there's the scene in House, and obviously this is House, so I'm just quoting the scene. I'm sure as hell not saying this is how it actually play out, but there's a dude who has a tattoo that you know has a lot of metal in the ink. They put him in an MRI machine, it just starts burning because the metal shavings are, you know, vibrating against each other as the machine turns.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how that would actually play out, but it seems like fairly reasonable.
I would tend to doubt it. I feel like we would hear about that. Plus, you got iron in your blood.
I mean, like, well, yes, you do, but in this case, it's like these are ferrous metals, like not just trace amounts,
Reign of terror.
and also not like bonded to something else,
The fortress.
or
of
rather,
Kand.
if they are bonded to something else, it's more iron.
Sounds like something for the Mythbusters to test.
It does.
I
Actually,
mean, but
you're
how
right.
how does one test that though without
You, like,
sacrificing a
make-
human being in an
No,
MRI
no,
machine?
Put it in
You make
pigskin.
synthetic, yeah, you get the synthetic skin for Buster, and Buster's going in the MRI machine. And
You just
we
get a
like-
pig like they always did.
We check Buster's temp. And, you know, also if he just lights on fire, we know it's too hot.
They may have actually done this at some point.
You know, you're right.
Put a pig in an MRI machine and turned it on.
I think they may have actually. I'm
Metal.
like, my memories are being triggered here. I feel like, and I might be making this up, but I feel like they may have actually done this.
I'm looking. I want to know. Because I always thought that thing on Mythbusters exploding tattoo. What the fuck?
Yeah, that might be it.
Exploding tattoo? Why would it explode? Oh my god, yeah, the second second thing is tattoos. Tattoo ink and MRI scans.
There you go.
Well, on Reddit, of course, 7 months ago. Which means I will find half of the comments tell the truth and the other half of the comments don't.
It's better than
I'm gonna
4chan.
know which one is telling the truth. The ones
Better
that are
than
telling
4chan.
the truth think they're
Yeah.
telling the truth, and the ones that don't think they're telling the truth.
Yeah,
You'll
4chan.
never find more experts than on Reddit.
Half the 4chan comments will lie to you, and the other half will call you something racist.
Yeah. Well, you must not be unpolled then. Because if you were
Oh,
unpolled, you'd get no direct answer. You'd just be told you're, racist slurs. I never went on poll. I only looked at it twice and was like, this is fucking nutty. And hell, that was back in high school. Can't even imagine what it's like now.
Is this the same guy that killed me in the beginning? I feel like he looked different.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like he's
the
different.
guy. He's the guy who killed you and that moved you up in rank, right?
Yeah.
This is the tower, right? That's his name, I believe.
Yeah, what is this fucker?
His name is the tower, I think.
But, what is that?
He's like a
He doesn't
lieutenant.
look orc? Is he orc?
He's like,
I think he's
I don't know
technically
if he's-
human.
Yeah.
he's like the hand. He's like the mouth of Sauron. Like he's like similar to that.
The beak of Sauron. A vessel for what?
The ringmaker. So my elf phantom
the
guy,
ringmaker,
is
yeah, yeah.
Celebrimbor, the guy who
Yeah,
made
yeah.
the elven rings at least.
I just couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
But, well, I guess if you're, just saying that for chat.
As you wish.
Whoa.
Oh, my
Strain
mystic.
the
What have I
black
done?
captain.
Alright, you gotta stealth this dude.
Do you ever fight an actual ring wraith in this?
You
And
what?
Why don't you mention that?
Why, is this guy an actual ring wraith?
No, but there are ring wraithy things that happen in the second game.
Oh, okay.
I'll leave it at that.
Huh.
Is he making? I'm basically like hit Celebrimbor's version of a ring wraith, maybe.
My lips are sealed.
What do you still fight for?
I never understood that. Why do the rings make ring wraiths? What is that supposed to represent again?
So the 9 rings of men were given to them by Sauron.
Yeah.
And he has the master ring, and basically he's able to at the very least act as your master, if not straight up control you and corrupt you.
Yeah, I remember them talking about how he can suggest things to you. And
he eventually will turn you.
But I never understood why it corrupts you, and why it. I mean, they talk about dwarves being too stubborn.
Yeah,
but,
it doesn't affect them in the way they wanted to. Men,
And elves
the
are-
ring wraiths were the desired result. The dwarves didn't have the desired effect. They actually just got turned greedy. Kind of like if you watch the Hobbit movies, how Thorin has dragon greed or whatever sickness.
They delve too greedily and too deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That
Dwarf
it turns them into
Fortress syndrome.
that. Yeah, it brings out their worst traits. And then the elves. First of all, the 3 elven rings weren't made directly by Sauron. They were made by Celebrimbor.
Those ones
Jesus.
are hooked up, but he still meshed them into the network, right?
Well, it's because his work is
God,
still
huh?
derivative of Sauron. Because Sauron's the one who taught him how to do it. He
Yeah.
just didn't tell him who he was.
Jesus.
And it's
Yeah, dude.
it's still in the network, but the rings aren't in. Their sole purpose isn't to corrupt. They actually have like abilities beyond the spyware.
And all the rings of power that were given out do up your stats in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I actually really love how like in Tolkien stuff they never really like give tangible like abilities / stats or however you want to like think of it.
It does like up your power. That magic is such, the magic of Lord of the Rings is so soft, it's hard to describe.
Yeah, because you even like Gandalf even talks about holding the Flame of Arnor, but like, I mean,
well, he has it. He actually has the he secretly has the third Elden Ring.
What I mean is like he never explains like why that is doing anything during like his battle with the Balrog or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it is really cool when you think about it later, and you're like, wow, he had a ring of power. He's a god of stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like he still like fights the Balrog to, a draw where they both die.
Well, because they are both they're both. Oh, geez, really?
Yeah, but
this is why he says before the bridge of Khazad-dûn, this foe is beyond any of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're literally on the same like administration level. That's kind of how I've always thought of magic in Lord of the Rings, is that it's not so much like they don't really highlight it as spells and incantations and slinging stuff. It's more like I have administrative rights over this much of the world, like this level of access to the world.
But isn't it weird though that like with the ring he still like ties? I guess that particular Balrog has a curse on it, doesn't it? Where it's like heroes can't win against it or something like that.
Those are essentially the ring wraiths. What ring wraiths would be for Morgoth, which is Sauron's master.
Mm-hmm.
So show you.
We talked about him with the giant spider.
Aragorns.
Yeah, with Shelob and all them. Yeah. Not Shelob. What's his name?
Ungoliant.
Ungoliant. Yeah. Progenitor.
These Aragorns are ruining your day.
Yeah, they.
We were talking about like the oldest shit that exists. We're like.
Yeah.
So there's like.
There's Tom Bombadil.
Ungoliant, and it's
Valar,
like very different ends of the spectrum.
And the only thing that supersedes any of those at all would be the nameless things in the deepest caverns and crevices of the world.
Tom Bombadil came before Tom Bombadil.
Well, that's one thing, is that he's supposed to be the first thing alive in the world.
Yeah, I love when he talks about that.
Yeah, I don't know if nameless things have any sort of
I just enjoy that like could also refer to the fact that like he told this character's story to his kids before he like wrote any of the rest of this. So like, yeah, he existed before time.
Yeah.
Because he was outside of like the canonical universe in another story until I added him.
Pretty much.
Tolkien.
I personally love the way they do magic in Lord of the Rings. It's also the same way they do it in Game of Thrones. I love the way they do magic in Game of Thrones.
It's kind of low magic.
Yeah, it's very subtle, but it's also very like it's obviously
amazing. Like
it's because it's OP, right? It's like super powered, and it's like so they never see it. Yeah, it's super rare, super scary, super powerful.
It requires like a lot of effort to use it. There's like all sorts of like reasons that it can't be used in certain situations. Like how Gandalf has to wait until everybody gets away before he fights like the rest of the ring wraiths.
Yeah. And it's not like your high magic settings where you can just fling it everywhere.
Yeah,
because it's not all that visual.
That's the whole reason that like the gods aren't interfering with this war, right? Because like last time they did, it fucked everything, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't that like why they only sent Gandalf and all the wizards as opposed to like an actual Valinor coming?
Yeah, they basically sent the 5 Astari wizards to help motivate and prepare elves and men of Middle-earth, as opposed to coming themselves. I don't know if it was because I don't know what was restraining them, or maybe they just decided no,
And they
it's not.
get there and they're like, "Oh man, these elves, they just want to build boats." It's weird.
Well, I think Gandalf is pretty much the only one of them, debatably the only one of them that actually stood by his task.
Yeah, Radagast just kind of like goes and he's a hippie.
He kind of did it, but he opted for animals over people of any kind.
Yeah.
Which, you know, fair, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Sauron obviously did
Well,
what
and
he
also,
did.
given like the intelligent life in this world, like the Ents, for example, like I can see why you'd side with them.
Yeah. And then the two blue ones went further west than even Middle Earth to the other land, to the Easterling men or whatever. And it's debate, and no one knows
They must have got
exactly.
fucked.
Some people say that they got corrupted and joined them and helped them like join with Sauron, or they are like the other theory is like they're the only reason why there weren't more of them.
When Games Workshop stole Lord of the Rings to make miniature games without paying for it, they put the two blue wizards in, and they were on the side of like the good guy's side. They Games Workshop had a fun history with Lord of the Rings where they used all the artwork from the movie and just didn't pay for it. So we're not even talking like just using like Lord of the Rings IP, you know, which would also be a problem. We're talking like they literally on their boxes had like Aragorn from the movie.
Oh shit!
What the
Did not
fuck?
pay, and
Did Mount Doom just erupt?
Sure did.
What the
Oh.
fuck?
Well, I guess that makes sense.
it's like it's
is an active
billowing
volcano.
when the movie happens, right?
Mount
sorry.
Doom.
When the Fellowship gets there, it's like active at that point. Or,
Yeah, it's still active. Yeah.
I don't know if you call that the Fellowship when they still get there. Frodo and
Yeah. No, the Fellowship doesn't.
Once in the
last.
Fellowship, always in the Fellowship.
Yeah.
it's true.
Although I think it does dissolve by the end of the first movie. I don't think it technically exists as it.
Is it just
does.
everybody within 5 feet of Frodo is in the Fellowship?
If anything, I think. No, you know what? Yeah. Frodo is basically wherever he is. That's where the Fellowship is. So it's basically just him and Sam by the end.
You guys are heartless. Fellowship is a idea that lives in the mind.
Yeah, I mean, possibly, but
It exists as long as the Fellowship wills it to exist.
Do you think it existed after they destroyed the ring?
I come for you.
It's like Aragorn said, as long as we stay true to each other.
yeah. It did at least for a
Let's hunt
while
some more.
because the
Your Caragor is on fire.
yeah, it's alright.
Jesus.
It did
Smoking ass.
exist
Makes
at
him
least for
go
a little while
faster?
because the hobbits went back to the Shire and fucking kicked ass.
Yeah, they did. That's so you could actually play that on the tabletop, which is hilarious because it's like just a bunch of like shitty thugs versus like your pimped out hobbits that have been through like Battle of Pelennor Fields, like come back from Mordor carrying like mythical items.
Mount Doom is aflame.
Yeah, I mean like Frodo is like by the end of it, even without the ring, he's like pretty decked out in equipment.
Yeah.
He's got mithril armor, man.
Yeah, he's mithril armor, he's got
Yeah.
sting, like
Essentially like lightweight Kevlar.
yeah. I think it's better than that, isn't it? Because I mean, like that ogre goes to hit him, and like it doesn't deal like internal damage to him.
Oh shit.
But
Okay.
I don't
yeah,
know. Let me go consult my Lego Frodo. See what he's wearing.
but I love that. Like, basically, these level like 20 adventurers come back to the Shire and are like, "Oh, look at that level 11 wizard with his level 1 thugs." By the way, why at that point are they able to overcome Saruman?
What do you mean?
Like, shouldn't he still be just as powerful as he was? He doesn't have staff, but like, he's still a
Maiar.
Maiar, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
did
but
they
he's
see
stuck,
Maiar?
he's stuck on the roof of a giant tower. What's he gonna do?
Well, no, he goes to the Shire.
Yeah, in the books he actually goes to the Shire.
Yeah.
The Shire.
He industrializes the Shire and puts all the Shire folk to work in a factory.
The
And
burden of the Shire.
yeah, and the hobbits come back and they just fuck him up. with like the town militia and 4 level 20 hobbits. I mean, I assume you hit level 20 after surviving the Battle of Pelennor Fields or destroying the One Ring.
Yeah, they're certainly in the 4th tier of play for sure.
Yeah,
At the very least.
I'm sure that Tolkien was thinking in terms of 5e D&D. I'm sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. You knew it.
Yeah.
He was thinking in 5D chess.
Damn, that animation.
Or 5e D&D.
With his burning sword. That's sick.
Alright.
But yeah, actually, like Merry, Pippin, and Sam and Frodo are like pretty badass by the end of it.
Yeah, no, they got some cool swag. They've got and they've got a lot of experience for sure.
I mean, let's be honest. Samwise could have kicked anybody's ass at any time in the story. He needed no training. He would just sheer will.
Yeah, and a plot.
Just the baddest ass badass.
I mean, he did pull out a pan from PUBG.
For the Ringmaker, he cannot take form. He will be trapped within Mordor, no more than an eye of flame bound to his dark
Why are those guys
tower.
just ignoring you?
Because
they're
they're
your
with
buddies
me. Yeah, I brought them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I unlocked the ability to be like, tussle the hair, you're mine now.
This is Ratbag's crew.
Yeah, I do a caress on the cheek, and they're like, yeah, totally. Where are we going?
Yeah. Wow, you didn't take my soul. I'm working with you now.
All right.
I hope you do play the second game eventually because they really flesh that out a lot. They give like some backstory and some narrative.
I really
really
enjoyed
cool.
this game, so yeah, I'm totally motivated to play the second one.
Ratbag's the main character in the next one. You actually don't even play as this guy.
Okay, I feel like we're coming up to the end here, so I don't mind asking. Is Ratbag dead? Did he die when he got hit with the mace, I guess?
Do you want me to tell you?
Or at least, is he... Okay, answer me this. Does he come back in this game? From where I'm at? Do I see him
Final
again in
boss,
this game?
Ratbag. He's been working against you the whole time.
If I remember correctly, I don't think you actually see him again in this game. I don't think.
Oh, poor Ratbag.
This is pretty much it. What you're coming up here, this is like last scene, basically.
Yeah, and we still got like an hour to go, so I'm like, okay, we'll see.
Poor Ratbag. You
This guy
hate to
looks
see it.
nice.
Got some crazy contact lenses. Oof. Force push.
Oh no.
Always
Dude,
last flashback.
Here
We
go.
Oh shit.
This looks like is this the first stage?
It should be, yeah. There's only elves.
I don't know. Wouldn't that make this Morgoth though, and not Sauron?
Oh, you're right.
Oh, Rumble.
Yeah, so it might
I'm
be
sorry.
second age?
Second age, but the
Yeah, it's shadowy.
first attack of Mordor.
Yeah.
Attack on Mordor.
Yeah, because there's rings already.
Yeah. Oh, is that the ring?
Yeah, seems that way.
Oh,
It says
he-
now.
Betrayed him.
How did he have
him?
the ring on and not be invisible?
Elves already live
Right.
partially in the ethereal plane, so they don't
Yeah,
go
and
anywhere.
also, like, I mean, even if that weren't the case, I assume Callum Brimbor would know how to use a ring, right?
He's a maker.
Yeah.
These are some good animations of the cutscenes, man. They had some money for
Beat him to
this.
death with a hammer. Fuck.
Sure did.
Oh, flip it over and done.
Was this the first time we ever see Sauron depicted in human form in media?
I mean, what do you count the Necromancer?
Well,
don't
there's an
think so.
extended edition of the Lord of the Rings films, and I believe... What the fuck?
Yeah, man.
Did he just do that to himself?
Sure did.
Oh, he's Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's stealing your wraith, dude.
Yeah. Oh shit. And then my throat comes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you
Your
knew
wounds
that.
open
Okay.
back.
You had a very specific detail. I was like, oh shit.
Oh no, your spirit elf.
Yeah. Oh shit, motherfucker. Dude. What? What? How?
I love how confused. Just wait till you get to the second game, man. Just wait till they break the shit out of the lore.
Yeah, no kidding.
As if they're not doing it now.
Right? Like, maybe. Like, I don't see how.
Yeah, nothing about this is proper. No. This is silly. Oh, it's a good thing that armor is useless.
Yeah, right? That's the one thing that really bothers me.
Just
I
stab right
guess,
through it.
Like, all fantasy armor
Yep.
is fucking paper.
It's just
Yeah, it's like,
just a costume. It's not.
They're all
actually armor.
stormtroopers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all stormtroopers. It's plasteel.
Mm-hmm.
Duraplast, I think they call it.
Yep. Plasteel is 40k. Well, probably some other things too, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Seriously? That was it?
That's it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you have the same reaction everybody has to this game. So this game is famous for having a really truncated, abrupt ending because they ran out of money and time. And the studio's been very open about that back when they existed.
Okay.
They have said that they are aware that the ending was kind of light
nuts.
and accelerated because they just ran out of time. That's why it was all animate, like cutscenes and QuickTime events, rather than like a lot of gameplay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fun.
They went to great pains in the second game to correct that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes me feel better and a little bit more like excited to play that. Because I won't lie, like I like this game. This is a fun game.
It is a fun game.
Oh shit! Am I? Oh shit! Am I?
I'm telling you, man,
got
they
a
break the
little-
lore in the second game. I'm telling you, they break the lore.
Yo, sure, yeah. Well, they fucking yeah. Up until like 10 minutes ago, it was all like, oh, okay. Oh, I guess this could be a side story happening simultaneously.
Conceivably, yeah, you
Yeah.
could justify it.
Yeah, and even like you could stretch it and explain a little bit of this ending.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nah. By the time you get to basically the first scene of the second game,
Yeah.
you're asking yourself, if you know anything about Lord of the Rings, you're asking yourself,
What
how
the
on
fuck?
earth did they get permission to make this? Because everybody knows the Tolkien estate is super locked down on what they allow people to do with their lore.
Uh-huh.
So the fact that they allowed anybody to do this was kind of shocking. This is a different era.
I guess if they just openly said like, listen, this isn't going to be canon, they'd be like, okay, whatever. I don't give a shit.
It's definitely like MCU like style, different universe, I think, is what their sort of headcanon is. This is just a one-off.
Yeah. Interesting.
There you go.
Right up until about 15 minutes ago, it was like, okay, great game, fun game. Can't wait to
And then
wait
it
to sword
says, "You're
fight the
done."
guy. Yeah, and then it was like, and then it was a whole lot of other. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So imagine playing this game, and the next one didn't come out until 4 years after
Yeah,
this.
it's like I trained for a marathon, and I show up, and oh, you can ride in a car
Dude.
if you want.
I'm gonna let you know. By the time you get to the second game is a fucking marathon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Alright, looking forward to
they fix that problem right quick. There's no joke.
All
In
right.
fact, it was such a marathon when it first released that people complained about it, and they had to reduce it. They had to, like, yeah,
Go back
it was
and trim
crazy.
it down. Amazing.
Yeah, they did.
Incredible.
Had to trim it down and then put some of that back in a DLC and no, I don't actually know.
Well,
Yeah,
that game was originally it was blown out a lot because they wanted you to have to farm materials, because they wanted you to do microtransactions and buy materials at the store.
Oh, right. It had that part of it too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
'Cause I said this at the beginning of this game, but the second game was famous. It was this
Infamous,
game.
even.
Yeah, it was Shadow of War, and it was Battlefront 2. that came out right around the same time. That was like
I remember
at
this.
the height of the loot box microtransaction fervor, and there was such a backlash to both of those games that basically
hard,
100%, and basically by within like a couple of months of their initial releases, they had to strip all that shit out. And now if you go back and play those games, they're like amazing games. They're brilliant games. Like even Battlefront 2, if you go back and play that, now that all the loot box shit's gone, it's actually a really damn good game.
I think I have it either on my wish list or it's been like suggested for me, and I always abstained because of that.
So the thing is, actually, with I can speak more to Shadow of Mordor because that's the game I played more of. To be honest, the Shadow of Mordor, the microtransactions were actually always optional. You never had to use them. They were completely just there if you wanted to use them. Obviously, people reacted very badly to them. The one thing that it did have that sort of grindy effect that I just described, where like, in order to get through the last, you'll see if you play the game, there's a series of challenges that you have to do at the end of the game, and in the original version, you had to do it literally 10 times, and they're tough challenges and they take a long time, and you have to do it 10 times. And each one of those times, it requires you to spend a lot of in-game resources to prepare for those challenges. And in order to get those in-game resources faster, you either have to grind a shit ton of time to get all the resources you need, or you can go, the one card, take it to the store, and use the magic of Visa and get to it sooner. But then what they did was, when they pulled those out,
Visa Black Card forged in the first stage.
I cast Visa Black Card. It was when they pulled the microtransactions out, they also reduced the amount of times you had to do those challenges at the end.
That's
basically what happened. Yeah, to make it such that the grind actually matched you could just do it by regular gameplay. You didn't have to go to the store.
Yeah, reasonable.
Yes, much more reasonable. Still challenging. And the second game, you will find the new mechanics that they add in there. It's actually a fucking stress simulator, man. It can get intense. That game gets crazy. Yeah. That game gets crazy. But we're playing Neo next, right?
Yeah, I think so. I already got the first and second ones. I don't know if I'll play the second one right after. I might just go like skim across and do all the first games.
Well, that's what you've been doing, right? You did Jedi Fallen Order. You did the first one of this.
I'll do the first Neo.
Yep.
Neo, what is it?
It's called Neo, but it's like Nioh.
Yeah, Nioh.
It's basically Japanese Souls-like, and instead of demons, you're fighting yokai.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
So like same diff though, but like whatever.
It's got it's definitely got new original mechanics outside of just the Souls-like style though. So it's definitely more. The combat is deeper.
About stances being a thing.
You just reminded me. I wanted to ask you guys about the Souls game that just came out, or I think it just came
Night
out.
Rain. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up with that being like?
It's
a weird combination.
It's a battle
of,
royale.
Like,
yeah.
So
it's lore.
It's actually multiplayer extraction. It's
so fucking weird to see with Souls.
It's a roguelike. It's a multiplayer roguelike, is what it is. The battle royale aspect of it is the shrinking circle that you have to operate in, and that's like it acts like a timer, and it acts like a limiter where you have to go beat the boss before
is there a story to it?
There is
lore.
I haven't actually seen.
There is lore. There's lore the same way there is for Elden Ring and for any of the other Dark Souls games. Like you can put together lore, but it's harder to do it in that game because exploration is tough because there is that time element. You really have to race to the boss.
Yeah, it's kind of like whatever you can manage in your off time. Like
correct.
Your spare time.
Yeah. So like, it's 100%, not 100%, but it's basically multiplayer only. You can do it single player. They have modes for single player, but it is, by all accounts, extremely tough and imbalanced for single player, although they have recently nerfed it a bit to make it easier for single player. But it's intended for multiplayer, and it's a roguelike.
It's three-man teams.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it's 3 people, which is also
Yeah.
feels a little odd.
Yeah, it's 1s and 3s. There's no duos right now.
Okay. Is there
Oh,
matchmaking
you can't
involved?
even run
Like,
2.
I believe there's matchmaking. I believe, yes.
okay.
Yep. And they did other things
Did
like
you say you actually can't run 2 people?
you can't. Yeah, no
Yeah.
duos.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, you can,
is
but
that?
you can, but you're gonna get a third, like a rando.
Oh, you'll only be 2 for a small period of time.
Yeah,
You probably
just,
matchmake the extra person if you're just 2.
Oh,
yeah, it is. That's all it's gonna do. It's gonna matchmake the third person. So you will always have 3 in a party.
I wonder
You
if
can
somebody
have,
gets
and
dropped.
it might just be 2
what
people that
happens?
you know, but
yeah, I'm kind of curious now. I haven't seen that happen in the gameplay I've watched.
Somebody rage quits or has a bad connection, like mid-game.
I know that does happen. I don't remember what happens when that does happen, but yeah, it's happened.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It drops all your souls.
I'd be surprised.
I think they might dump a new person in, like next person on the server might pop in.
That's
potentially.
awesome.
So you could
that's
like
more or
come
less
into
what
like a
Destiny does.
2/3 done like run. I
Yeah, that's
suppose.
more or less what Destiny does.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I mean, because I was even gonna say like, well, so you could like, if somebody downed, they could disconnect so that you got another person.
I guess so.
I mean, I know that they can bring you back up just by wailing on you, which is also kind of weird.
Yeah.
But like, I know that certain situations where that's not as viable.
Well, the problem with that is yeah, you get there's a wheel that comes up when you die, and you get 3 chances at rezzing. Well, it's
Yeah.
not actually 3 chances at rezzing, but it's a wheel that is cut up into 3
It's
sections.
filled up in 3
Yeah,
sections.
the first time you go down, you only have to hit them enough to clear out the 1 section of the wheel. If the second time they go down, you only have to hit them enough to get 2 sections of the wheel down. Every subsequent death after that, you have to get the whole wheel down each time, and
Yeah.
that takes a long time to
Or
res
they
people.
like respawn somewhere else, right?
Yes, yeah,
Really
and they lose.
cool.
I think they also lose a level.
Yeah, you're right. They do lose a level, and they drop all their souls and shit like that.
Yep,
Okay.
which they can pick up unless it's outside of that ring, that shrinking ring.
I didn't know about that. I didn't know that about the ring.
Which I think you can still go into the area that's beyond the shrinking ring, but
Usually
I think
it's
that
a
you
dot.
take damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you
you
take
start-
damage and you can't be out there very long. So
Yeah, you can't. I watched 3 people try to run through
like
it.
it's a race. Like when you die and your souls are on the ground, like it's a race to get to them before the ring shrinks over.
And the 3 people, like 2 of them, just were not paying attention to their health and just fucking died.
Mhm. Yeah.
Other person turned around, used the like giant dog like ult, and was just wailing on the other 2 to get them up, and then died.
Well, Tom,
Oh my god, this is like just fucking everybody's a cripple trying to get across the finish line here. Like,
yeah, Tom was asking he was asking if anybody on the Discord was like interested in playing, and I'm like, man, taking Elden Ring or Dark Souls, making it a roguelike multiplayer is like asking me what's the quickest way to make you not want to play a
yeah,
FromSoft.
Yeah.
because I'm thinking to myself like, well, I'd just play Monster Hunter if I was gonna play a game like that.
Kinda.
I mean, like, it's more chill. Like, I don't have to worry about the fucking circle. I hate
Yeah.
the circle in games. Like, that's just...
Yeah, time
It's just
pressures are stressful in
Yeah.
these types of games.
And it's
Yeah.
already multiplayer, like... Multiplayer is stressful. We're gonna put a fucking time constraint to make it, even more stressful.
Yeah, I mean, now they also removed the actual RPG elements of
And
like
we're gonna
making
randomize your
character.
weapons.
Yeah, exactly. And like you don't get to make your own character. You have to choose from a selection of heroes, basically. And like, I don't know. It's a cool
Yeah,
concept.
somebody was like Birdman, attorney at law.
Yeah, and people love it, and that's great. People love that genre, and that's fine. Like, I'm glad it exists. I'm not saying they
It's
like
just such
don't
a
make
weird,
it.
like,
It's
take
not for
on
me,
it.
man. Yeah, it's just definitely not for me.
It took
And frankly,
me by surprise that, like, they did that.
yeah, same. Did you guys see they made a similar announcement for Switch 2? There's a Switch 2 FromSoft exclusive now that's going to be coming out.
Oh, yeah, I did see something about that a while ago.
Yeah.
It's an Extraction Souls.
It's another multiplayer. Yeah, it's a PvP multiplayer this time.
Oh, what is this?
PvPvE.
Flame success.
Black
Yes,
Sun driven
supposed to be.
Sauron back to the ruins of Barad-dûr,
Yeah, so you can go back and clean up all the missions that you haven't done yet.
which I
the
believe
Dark
are all
Lord
done except for
Shadow
like the hunting
remains.
challenges.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was sure fun.
So Nate, what you have to look for in the second game when and if you do play it, first of all, the most importantly, the nemesis system gets really fleshed out, and you get to manipulate it from both directions. So it's for enemies and for allies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's very cool, and it's much more like you get much more actual nemesis in the game. Like you'll start recognizing orcs. They'll come back. You'll have like
They fight
battles
each other
with
too,
them.
don't they?
Yeah, because some of them are on your team and some of them are your enemies,
Yeah.
so they will
Oh,
fight
I
each
thought
other.
even the enemies fought each other. Because
Like,
You can have there are arena battles too where they fight each other. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that.
I'll be
So
honest,
that's one
I had
thing.
no idea any of them were allies. I saw how that system worked,
Yeah.
and I just assumed it was just orcs killing each other, trying to get
It's-
like closer to Sauron.
It's the same sort of mechanic that they touched on here of you turning them to your side.
Yeah.
That's happening in the second game, only it's much more important to the overall mechanics. So that's the first thing. Nemesis system gets way better, and it's what the Nemesis system really it shines. It really sings in that game.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember seeing
second
a
thing-
city siege where like it.
Well, yes.
The one dude's like general was in there, and he's like trying to get to it because he's like, I don't want him to die in the town.
Yeah. So what you'll also get, another mechanic that they add, is going to be basically army and fort building.
Fun.
So,
That's cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that going on. You get to be like a captain, like a general of an army, basically, and build your own army.
Yeah.
Another thing that they add is gear. So you get to pick up different swords, different types of weapons, different bows, different daggers, different armor. You get to get out your battalion.
Rage.
Oh, hey, what's
And
up,
they'll
Greg?
Hey.
You kind of joined us in like in the post game here. We literally just
Oh,
beat
I
this
know.
game.
Greg always
you
does
I
that.
saw
That's what he
the I
does.
saw the ending credits, but
okay.
was making dinner, so thought I'd jump on and say hey.
Yeah,
It's
man.
one of
Awesome.
us has to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody has
Someone
to,
has to
show up
drop
the end.
in at the
Last,
last
like, 5
second.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to your disappointment, so
Yeah,
and
I mean,
the fact that you could be you should be happy with the marathon of the second one.
yeah. No, it's I like this game. This is a great proof of concept game. I
I
am
think
looking
this
forward
game-
to actually experiencing the full vision. In the
It's
second
weird
one.
because this game is a little bit of a victim of its own success. Like, it's so good for 90% of the game that it really makes the ending really disappointing.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
falls super flat.
Yeah.
You're kind of like,
Yeah.
what? What?
Yeah.
Did
But-
you ever like remaster
Honest-
this and just add more ending? Like
No,
just make
well,
that a fight or something? Because
they
could
didn't.
totally sell it. Like,
No, because here's the thing. This was basically the last game that Monolith Studios ever made. Not this game, but the second game of this series was basically the last game Monolith ever made.
Well,
and frankly,
They're no
it
longer
may be
around,
the
right?
it may be the
I
last
mean, their
game
name
that
probably still exists, I assume. But
I
didn't
think
even
it
know
actually.
this.
It was also, I think, the last big single-player action-adventure game that WB Games ever made. Because, like, Rocksteady did the last Batman and then stopped making games for like 6 or 7 years.
Was that Arkham
Until the-
Origins? Is the last one they made?
They did
Arkham
Arkham
Knights.
Origins, and then they did Batman Arkham Asylum, I believe was the order. Arkham Asylum, I think, was the last one. Not Arkham Asylum, it was Arkham Knight. That's what
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah, with a
Which is an amazing game, by the way. Everyone should play that game.
I
That's a
wouldn't
great
mind
game.
tapping into those too.
Those,
Um,
oh man, that's an incredible series. The Rocksteady games with Batman, those are some of the greatest games ever made. Those are amazing.
Oh, cool.
They're built on this engine. It's the same combat system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
looking
I'm
at it.
recognizing
Do you
it.
know what their game after this one would have been?
Hmm.
If they had kept going? Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah. They were gonna do Nemesis system in Wonder Woman. Yeah, that was recently
That would've been
canceled.
cool.
They canceled it and then they closed Monolith.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it
Yeah.
like strictly a funding thing, or did something happen? Like it
I
taken
mean, it's
over?
WB Games. They're like, nobody can tell really what they're doing, but they're basically divesting from everything except Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mordor
that's-
Games.
That seems like a mistake.
Yeah. Because, like, remember, like, Rocksteady made the Batman games, and those literally are some of the greatest games of all time. They are extremely critically acclaimed. And everyone's been waiting for Rocksteady to make another Batman game,
I
and
assume
they just
J.K.
never have.
Rowling has to die eventually, and then those dividends might pay off, right?
It would be great. I would love it.
Buy it cheap right now when her name is like soiling the product, and then just sit on it.
This is the thing. I'm disappointed in finding that it's like not like it's still like wicked fucking successful. Disappointingly, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I mean,
nostalgia and
well,
To your point, it would be more successful.
it is
if
a
she
good
wasn't
story. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing is like, I don't know. Well, we're not supposed to talk about this, are we? Anyways.
No, we can shit on J.K. Rowling all you like. I'm happy to shit on J.K. Rowling.
I hate to shit on the story though, because the story is.
Dude, you're talking to somebody who was a fan, a big enough fan of Harry Potter to name my 2 ginger cats after characters in the
George,
book. Yeah. And then that was before she like broke bad and turned out to be a fucking evil.
Yeah, and then we found out what our books were funding.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And then in
And
hindsight,
so now
some of
I'm-
that stuff doesn't track very well.
And now I'm like super out. So yeah. But yeah, the second game, it's got the better nemesis system. It's got the fort building, and it's got gear, and the gear part's really fun too.
Okay.
So you're
I
gonna
like
get
building
like
forts.
yeah, you get to level up your gear. You get to level up your armor, your bows, your
You
swords,
can
your
level up your rat bag.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're assuming rat bag's in the second game.
Is he
I'm
not my
assuming.
ultimate nemesis? I'm assuming it's.
I'm sure rat bag is in the next game.
You think so?
I'm sure
Looking
it's
without
the
looking.
moving tale of longtime friends turned enemies.
Yeah.
When Ratbag takes over Mordor after Sauron is destroyed.
I just assumed rat bag is your Vegeta.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate, if you really like this game, you will like the second game even more. I think the second game is everything that you wanted this game to be.
Shoot that guy.
I actually didn't realize this was a Monolith game. It's so sad that that was what they went out on.
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing couple of games that they made. This one was like a meteor. This game came on the scene and nobody expected anything out of it. And as it turned out, it was like a Game of the Year candidate. It
And
was
it's
like
so weird
amazing.
too. Like the way that this studio started out was like, we just need somebody to make like movie title video games.
Yeah, make a licensed game. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, hey,
That's gone through some
would
phases
you like
over
to
the
make
years.
Fear?
Yeah.
Yep, that's why people thought this game was going to be shitty. Frankly, they thought the Batman games were going to be shitty too when those were first announced.
I had that vibe when I first saw like Arkham Asylum when
Yeah.
it came out. I was like, all right,
What
well.
I don't get is why like Warner Brothers would like get rid of a studio that has a reputation for being able to make movie video games, where it's like most people think of those as like not going to be good games, but like you built up a studio that's like, oh, it's Monolith, like they're gonna do this game right.
Yeah.
But it's not.
So it's
see,
like-
that's the thing. That's the thing, Max. It's not. You know as well as anybody within development. It's all about quick, easy money and
Correct.
like the transactional based and like let's release a game and basically have it QA'd in real time and then release patches. That's all they care about.
Well, they
It's-
also
it's
want
not-
it to
actually-
be for.
That
They
didn't
want it to
actually
be
stop
Fortnite.
Monolith from making like good movie adaptations though.
I know, but
the
it-
good part
we
about
don't-
it.
I mean, the
thing
games
is,
are
we
good
don't
because
know
of
the
the
reason
devil.
why they went under, and it may just have been like, hey, like, you know, anytime a finance bro comes in and says it's going to cost this much and take this long, they're like, nope, can't do it.
Well, the problem with these good games is it's the same thing. I mean, Marathon just got delayed from Bungie, and one of the big reasons is because they, to your point, Craig, basically the margins are not wide enough. They want minimal input and maximum output. They want to basically spend no money, but they want Fortnite.
Yeah.
You know, And if WB looks at these games and they see the margin's going to be 25% and not 60%, that doesn't bump up their stock price.
What the fuck is the margins on a movie? Like when somebody makes a movie? I never looked at it.
It depends on the movie. Most movies these days are lucky to break even. Primarily, at least movies that are big blockbusters, because right now the amount of money that they spend on them is outrageous.
Let's go like pre-COVID, just as like a reference, because
pre-COVID was a little bit different.
It's mostly before COVID, so.
Yeah, I mean, movies used to be more profitable because they used to spend less money.
I never looked at it.
Video games, on the other hand, the margins are usually pretty good, assuming that you're calibrating good margins relative, like in a reasonable way. I mean, again, like 10% profit, a private company would consider that pretty good. They'll take 10% profit. They'll take 25% profit. A publicly traded company that having 25% profit margins quarter over quarter is not good enough.
I knew Avatar had like good returns, but I didn't realize how good the returns were for Avatar.
I don't understand how that
biggest
is
movie
so
of all time,
fucking
man.
popular. I don't get
Biggest
it.
movie of all time.
Wait, you don't like Space Pocahontas?
Or Space Dances with Wolves.
Yeah, Space Dances with Wolves.
Well, it's kind of dropped off, but the original was like supposed to be like graphically cutting edge, you know, and it probably
there's an easy answer
back
to
in
this
the day.
question.
So they
You want to know the answer to the question? I can answer.
237 million on it, and it made 2.9 billion.
Yeah, and I can tell you why.
Go on.
China.
Oh yeah.
It was immensely popular in the biggest market in the world.
They would love the hive mind.
It's easily translatable because there's very little dialogue. It's not a whole lot of. It's not a very talky movie. It's very flashy.
You know,
has a lot of money.
Have to take out those parts where, like, you know, they
that's the other thing. Like,
against the government.
It's not controversial. They didn't have like. It's
I feel like that'd probably still be controversial.
Extremely popular in China.
Actually, no. Actually, now that I think about it, you could totally think of that as like the British, you know, coming, kicking in their door, colonizers.
I mean, that's sort of the thing about Avatar. It's so broad that its applicability could be pretty much anything you want it to be.
Yeah. Well,
but the whole model has changed, though, and I'd be interested to see what the profit margins for something like that, which was heavily CGI, to like a Game of Thrones, which is based on a subscription model.
Well, CGI now is far more expensive than it used to be, too.
Oh yeah, because everybody's like rigged up with motion capture. And...
Yeah, I mean it's the way it's done now. It's the industry standard. So to get really good, proper CGI, it costs a shitload of money.
Yeah, but I'd be interested to see like what, because obviously a lot of the big name actors and studios are now funding, you know, subscription based model series instead of
like
movies.
Andor.
Yeah. So like, what would the profit margin in production for that be?
Because Andor set and costumes look like pretty, you know, reasonable.
So I don't know. I think the answer to that question is we just don't know because we don't get like box office numbers on the TV and streaming shows, right? So like, it's easy. It's actually pretty easy to estimate what the profit margins or lack thereof might be for like a Disney film that gets released in theaters, because they publish the budgets for those, and they also post the box office returns on those. And they also generally give you a good idea of what the marketing budget is for their movies. And so you put that together, then you know what they need to make in return in order to break even. You also know what share they get from the theaters. So the theaters take a share, obviously, and then they have to pay off their investors. And everything after that is what the profit is. And so you can do some like back of the.
So you know, IMDb says that they spent $645 million for the 24 episodes of Andor.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And like in this case, like you were saying, there's a lot of people you have to pay back for like a traditional movie. And you know, a lot of like middlemen because you have to get it to an actual like theater, whereas like, you know, digital distribution is like
there's a lot of people taking a cut. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but when
then
you
for
own the
Andor,
distribution,
every 3 episode sort of.
I am curious what hosting
is about a movie
to host their like I guess how much they spend to host an episode of anything. I've never like seen it broken down that way.
You mean to like stuff that they license from other stuff that they don't make themselves?
No, like so. Well, this is probably not like a metric that you should look at, but like if you took every video that like a streaming service had and then divided the cost of hosting across all of them, like how much they're paying per video, like obviously that doesn't matter because ultimately the total cost matters. You could have one video on there and they'd still be paying the entire cost.
So you just mean like the actual infrastructure cost of like
yeah, and like paying for like because Disney is got to be hosting their own stuff, or rather, you know, they're using like some.
So I'll tell you what I think their biggest cost is. I think their biggest cost is the artists, the people who get residuals, the people who get.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Which is why they take shit off
about that cost, even though it's got to be negligible.
Which is why they take. Else. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but HBO did this, or Max, I guess, did this a little while ago.
Hey, I didn't do it.
They're doing this across the board now. They're like they're taking off even their own, like the shit that they own, like Netflix originals and Max originals. They're starting to take that stuff down off of their services after a while because they don't want to pay residuals to the actors and the directors and the writers and the artists. So that as long it's like syndication, right? So if it's in syndication, for as long as it's in syndication, you have to pay residuals to those artists.
Yeah.
Whereas if you take it off the air, there's no residuals to pay.
I imagine
that's often what they're doing.
That builds,
I imagine
like,
there's probably
bring it back.
There's probably analytics that say, hey, like, and that probably I wouldn't even be surprised if they write it into the contract, like, hey, as long as you're receiving this many views per month on our streaming service, we'll keep it on. If it drops below, like, it's just not worth our.
There's no doubt that decision is based on an algorithm of some kind, right? That they've decided, like, if it falls below a certain level of views, then the cost-benefit analysis is it's not worth paying.
And they're sitting at their house with like their Netflix permanently streaming it, just
probably. Yeah. They probably have all that shit on their own personal plexes.
Yeah, well, you know, but that one's not going to affect the numbers, man.
No, of course.
I think the margins are better. Do it either.
I think the margins are collectively better on television, because I think right now the best way to get margins is to have low cost
streaming.
And I think, well, yes, that's what I mean.
Because I mean, like television's gotta be like fucked. Like
this is what I'm saying about Andor. So Andor, if you're saying it was like $600 million and change, right?
I mean, IMDb said that.
They did 24. I think that's probably about right. That makes sense because they did 24 episodes. If you look at the length of 3 episodes, that's a little more than 90 minutes. It's about the length of a standard.
And also, I look at their set, especially in the second one, and I'm like, that looks like a set that, like, you know, it's no like aliens like spaceship. You know?
Yes. So they clearly spent money on that show, but they didn't spend like Rings of Power money on that show.
Well, and you know why I think that's probably right, Ian, and this was an interesting thing too. Andor was one of the first shows in recent memory that I can remember that released like 3 or 4 episodes at a time,
rather than once a week.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not stretching people out like, hey, keep our subscription service on the chance that you'll watch one a week. It's like, no, you can binge watch it.
Oh, actually, what was that called? Oh my God, the Apple TV one. God, why am I blanking?
Severance, yeah.
That one was that way too, where they just released it all.
Maybe in the first season, but not the second season.
Oh, I thought second season was.
I don't think
When
so.
I went to watch it, I thought it had just come out, and I was like, oh, it's all up. I'm gonna watch it. Never mind then.
I feel
Disregard
like it
what I
was
said.
released 1 week. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, what typically happens, they reserve that sort of weekly thing for established prestige shows. And so Severance, when it first came out, obviously was not an established prestige show. So
Yeah, I
usually
can't
they
even
just release
imagine
the
what
whole
people
season.
thought of that when it first came out. Like, when they're pitching that to, like, somebody, like...
Yeah.
I would love to have known what that meeting was like when they're pitching Severance.
Well, they had I think their advantage was they had Ben Stiller behind Severance.
Well, and also,
Yeah.
it's I like the idea of they're just like, yeah, just throw everything at the wall, something will stick.
What was that shout?
Apple's actually been pretty decent. Like they
they're
don't have a
pretty
lot.
steady.
Yeah, they don't
they're
have a
not-
lot,
They're not
But what
Netflix,
they have
like-
is usually pretty damn good.
Yeah, their hit rate is a little bit better. Like
You're
they Ted
right.
Lasso.
Yeah, Ted
Netflix is
Lasso,
more
Silo,
like
Severance.
Yeah.
What was it? The news one with the Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the name of the show. But anyway, I think I just brainwashed this entire town.
Yeah, you got nothing left to do, dog.
Yeah. Oh, I got this
You
one.
own an orc
Nate.
city now.
Yeah, like you're gonna have
Now
to take
mine.
them for walks.
You're mayor of Orkville.
Yeah, Orchistan.
Orchistan. Oh my god,
There we
This
go.
poor flub.
you're right.
All right.
It is Orchistan.
Now that we have that,
Nate, I'm not liking the look
Everybody's
of
dead.
Orchistan's nuclear program.
all right. I just wanted to
It'd
see
be a shame
if I
if
could,
something
if I
happened to
could
that.
make the whole town's heads pop, but I guess not.
Nate, I'm gonna need you to immediately evacuate Orchistan.
Oh boy, that's a whole new can of worms. That's really, really scary and really, really sad.
Yep.
Oof.
We're gonna have to just pretend it's not happening. We have no other choice.
Really,
We lost this fight, gentlemen.
It's true.
that particular one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have officially nothing left to do on this game, I suppose. So I just wanted to see if I
Man.
could take over the whole town, and I guess you can. If
Do you think you're
really
gonna beat it this
methodical about
fast?
No, I was not expecting to beat it within the first hour. That's why I
Yeah.
took on those rescue missions. I was like, well, I guess I could do the main mission, but like, let's just do this so I can pad it out a little bit. I'm sure it won't be that long.
So let's
I didn't realize it
let's
was going to
go
be like
summary here.
truncated as hell.
So you like the game though, right?
I do like the game.
What are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I think the jumping in it is a little bit too magnetic to various
The
surfaces.
platforming, I agree. The platforming is a little bit jank.
It's not that it's bad, it's just that it could be better. And I can
Mm-hmm.
see where it could be better. And if I can see it, that means developers probably would see it from a mile.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to
Yeah.
make you sad now. It doesn't get a ton better in the second game.
Oh, really?
It,
Like
it adds
that.
a mechanic or two that makes it a little bit better, but it's not like super overhauled. So
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
still going to be a little bit of a thing in the second game.
It's only
Your boy
slightly
Ratbag will
refined.
sell you a jump for a microtransaction.
Yeah.
You'll see. You'll see what you get. It is an improvement. I'll say that. It is. It does
Oh
get
my
better.
god,
It's
is that
not-
what it is? Is Ratbag the guy who sells microtransactions?
You think he's like the what you buying guy?
Oh
What are you
my god.
buying?
Well,
What are you
it would
selling?
make so
You
much
buy it.
sense with the name called fucking Ratbag.
He's going to be the vendor.
Yeah,
Oh, we'll have to see.
Got a whole rat bag worth of shit.
yeah. Ratbag's
Yeah,
out here selling rings of
but
power.
the
lightly
combat
used.
and the like the fighting the mob and the like the you can switch between like outright overt fighting and then stealth kills was pretty fun. I really like the seamlessness between that.
Yep.
And then I like just picking these guys off with the bow. Just having like they're chasing this one guy. I do this all the time. I see them chase this one guy, and I'm like, no, not today.
Yeah, this is one of those
I wanna
games.
save
I
that
think
guy.
I said this. I think I said this in the first episode. This is one of those games where the actual gameplay feel is so good that it's fun to just drop in and drop out, like the same way you might
you
with
could just
Destiny.
kind of peruse around. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I want to take over some orcs and
Yeah.
have a big old gang fight. You know?
It's like I got a free half hour. I'm gonna drop into Shadow of Mordor and kill some orcs, and then once
Yeah.
the half hour is up, I'll put it down and go do the next thing.
And then they can go back to their lives now that the crazed maniac blacksmith is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So, super fun. I would say solid 7.5
All
out
right.
of 10.
All right.
And that probably would have been higher had I played this like at the time it came out.
Sure.
Just because I know, like this isn't the only type of game of like this I've played, and I know it can be better. But I would say that this, as a proof of concept and a first installment, solid, really fucking solid.
Yeah.
7.5.
In context. In context, I think this game is famous for having come out in a year where there wasn't a lot of stiff competition. I think it was 2014.
Yeah.
Bloodborne was 2015. So like right after this was Bloodborne. That obviously was a big game of the year contender. And then I think right before this was The Witcher 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, like it was sandwiched between two like monsters.
Yeah.
And then I think in 2014 there just wasn't that much.
This was 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in any event, it was it was like a meteor, man. It was blew people
out of
away.
nowhere. Yeah. I could see why. It's a very solid game.
Yep.
It's too bad about the ending being rushed a little bit. I mean, at least it wasn't that they got lazy. It's that they literally ran out of resources.
Yeah.
Physical.
The next one's definitely modernized. I think you'll appreciate the modernizations of the next one. It's definitely a more complete, polished game for sure.
All right. Well, otherwise, yeah. I think I'm good. I think I've done everything I wanted to do.
Next time, Neo.
Yeah.
Oh my
Looks
God,
like
guys!
I'm gonna have to get the thumbnails going on again. Shit. Okay.
Back to the Souls legs. Back to the torture, baby.
Past Fist Run Shadow Mordor.
Just all branding all the time. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Do
I just
it.
want you to be prepared, Nate. Neo is hard, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, you'll probably be fine because you're always like all the hardest games are easy for you, and all the easy games are hard for you. You're, like,
I do have weird inverse dumbass luck. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see if that still holds true.
Yeah. The Neo games are tough, but they're also awesome. They are fantastic games. So I think you're gonna like them.
Yeah, we'll start with the first one, and then maybe we'll just continue the pattern of doing the first one in the series, and then circling back around once we've made a rotation.
Well, we got a lot after that because you still have to. I mean, eventually someday you got to do Bloodborne. It's got to happen.
I gotta get it on PlayStation, and then bring the PlayStation in here, and then because right now my PlayStation's my streaming machine.
We gotta give up the idea that they might remaster it or release it on PC. I don't know that that's ever gonna happen. So
yeah, for some reason I don't know why. But all right, we'll call this a series here, I guess. Thank you all for hanging out with us and watching till the end. And as we went on our tangents about various economical policies and whatnot.
Tune in next week for the return of torture. Torture coming back, baby.
Yeah, back to torture
We're
land.
gonna talk mutual funds.
Yeah, I'm also gonna do some research. Yeah, mutual funds and investing. Yeah.
401ks.
Finance Fridays, man.
Yeah. Finance Friday. We can tell Cameron that we started an official "This is advice."
Financial
advice.
Oh God, yeah.
First lesson next week: dollar cost averaging. Tune in for that.
Hell yeah, let's do it. All right, everybody. We'll catch you all next time with new game.
No.
Bye,
next
everyone.
Week is why we're bringing back the gold standard.
Yeah. We'll need it soon.
Yeah.
We're gonna just bring back the bartering.
Bye.
Bye.